when Christ is conceived in the womb of Mary, the Holy Spirit's activity enables him to have a human nature that is not bogged down or burdened or beset with original sin. So he doesn't have any guilt that belongs to him from any sin that he has, nor does he have any sinful inclinations to reject God or to do evil things toward fellow human beings. He did experience meaningful temptation, not in the sense that there were ever any sinful desires in his heart, because there were not. So he doesn't experience the kind of temptation and enticement to sin that's presented to us in James 1, for example. But Jesus, in having a human will, was vulnerable to the problems that human beings have, and in his human will, he would have naturally wanted something like bread in the desert when he was in fact really hungry after fasting for 40 days, or he would have naturally wanted to prolong his life instead of undergoing crucifixion. The key there is, as human beings, we can naturally will something, but at the same time recognize that in a particular situation, all things considered, that natural desire has to be subjected to a rational determination about what really ought to be done. So in the case of Jesus, in the Garden of Gethsemane, he naturally abhorred the pain of crucifixion, knowing that that was coming. And he feared that in the sense that he was anticipating something that was damaging. It was going to cause damage, among other things, to his body, to say nothing of other aspects of what he went through. So he anticipates that, has fear in his human will, has a natural desire to avoid crucifixion and death. But at the same time, his human will also includes determination that's informed by rational judgment. And in that, he never wavered. He never allowed his rational determination to be swayed or to be put off course. Sometimes I'll try to illustrate this by saying, I might need to get my tooth fixed and have a root canal tomorrow. It's okay if I naturally feel some trepidation about their fear, because I don't look forward to having the work done as something that would be pleasant in and of itself. That's not a problem, except it could only become a problem if I allow that natural aversion to pain to override my rational determination about the thing that I'm supposed to do. So it's okay if I'm feeling some trepidation about going to the appointment for the root canal. I've got a problem only if I let that make me cancel the appointment. And in the case of Jesus, he never ever let his natural aversion to pain override his determination or deflect him away from doing what the Father's will was for him. And I think it's appropriate for us to draw comfort from that when we're in situations where we might otherwise want something to happen, but we recognize it is either not going to happen or it would be the wrong call to make to try to go for that thing. So the fact that Jesus experienced that bitterness in his soul, it doesn't take away our bitterness in all of those situations. And I don't mean bitterness in the sense of resentment. I mean bitterness in the sense of misery. There's something that just feels awful about the whole thing. Jesus never was sinfully resentful or something like that, but he did taste the misery of human situations. And so that doesn't take away the misery of our human situation, but it does mean that our high priest, the God-man, interceding for us right now in heaven, he's been there. In other words, he gets it. The fact that someone gets it is significant for us in the midst of our temptation.